Hey guys, and how's it going? On a previous video I did this Gilson snowblower that we got from a free pile on the side of the road, and it recovered very nicely. But the electric starter, when we went to go use it, was blowing flames and smoke out of it. So I figured maybe we'll go make a separate video. We'll tear this thing apart, see what happened to it, possibly be able to fix it, not sure. Let's go find out. So previously when we put power to it, it kind of shot sparks out of where the button was. We took the switch box apart. The ground wire was not attached. It's actually missing the ground lug. Is where you plug in. The ground lug was missing altogether, and it just had the neutral and the hot. There's nothing connected. So I think what was happening was this was dancing around, possibly arcing off of one of these two. So we cured that, put power right to these two, tried it again, and it still was drawing a lot of power, and it kicked the breaker off on the breaker panel, so it's drawing a lot of energy. I still don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a rectifier or what that produces or comes out of it. I've never seen one of those. And then this is just the power switch that continues the path onto the starter. Let's crack open the starter, because the starter was still, even after we fixed that, the starter was still failing anyway. So it was grinding real hard. It didn't even have a spark plug in it, so it wasn't like it had compression that it was trying to fight against. I would suspect that we probably have a set of brushes going in. And again, that is just a guess. Let's see if we can start opening up. Maybe we'll pop it in a vise to hold it, and we'll get the caps off, see if we can open up the ass end of it. The brushes just popping out of their sockets. Yeah. It looks like one of them is cooked into the housing. That one right there. So it's experiencing some issues. See if we can get this one back out of the way. So it was missing part of the phase. It looks like somebody maybe cranked down on it too long and it overheated it. It's all cooking. I don't know if we can get that to free back up again. Let's take a peek at the rest of it. Yeah, it's like, definitely looks like it's been shooting some fire down inside there too. Actually, we're not going to get that out of there without the rest of it coming off. We have the starter gear on the other side, which is keeping it from coming out. This assembly, not allowing it. It's got a roll pin on it. All that stuff should come off. Let's go tap that out of there, and we'll see what the top end looks like. See if that, she sounds a little on the growly side. Actually, I wonder if we can get the case off. Lower the ridge, raise the water, right? Yeah. I don't see anything that is detrimental. You never know which one, if you have any of these that are burned out too. Give a quick look. I'm just going to see if I have any breaks. You can tell it got hot in this end, but I don't see any baking of the windings. Yeah, let's concentrate on seeing if we can get that brush to free up and move again. Maybe we can clean the socket up once we get it out of there. I wonder what the best way to get all that back together too. What if we can get this whole assembly right out of here? Yeah. I wonder if the whole thing will come out. That way we'll be able to push the brushes back and get it onto the starter and then get this cap back on top of it. If it's bolted through, That's not going to happen. There's no way to rebolt those. Can we, if we go to assemble it, actually we can assemble it. This can go on first. We could push the brushes back, right? Then put the housing back over it and then put the top on. There we go. We got it. We got it figured out. Let's go see if we can fix that. So that's the one that's stuck. I got tie wraps holding the other ones out of harm's way just so we don't have to kind of wrestle with them. I think if we can get behind it with a pick, I don't know if there's room there. Yeah, that was hard. I expected a bit more of a fight than that. Come on. See if we clean up the welding that happened to it. And then, I don't know if you can see it on the side of the plastic here. I feel like a dentist. Yeah, I just think somebody laid on the starter a little too long and cooked it. But if we can get, the brushes seem like they have more than enough meat still on them, you know? It's not like they're all the way burned up and they kicked out and turned sideways, which I've seen happen before. Try it without the spring, see if we can get it to move. I actually think it'll be okay. So we are going to have to assemble it, like I said, from the top down though. Get in there. I would think it probably stays right, fairly close to it. It's probably right about there where it needs to ride. Yeah, you want to do anything else to it? We can't really put any lube or anything on it. There's electrics going through them, so I would think this is more like a Bakelite or a plastic. And I don't know if we can start when we go to assemble it. Can we leave the tie wraps in? I don't think we're going to be able to get down far enough. Trying to figure out what we can do to hold the brushes out while we put that in, and then something to remove later. Got to contemplate. Let's go work on this part of it. Okay, get the guts off of it and we'll clean up the armature. So we can tap that pin out. Moving. I'm gonna lean on this side so it doesn't want to lift up anymore. Pretty crank down on the vise. Yeah, it's got a lot of bounce to it when I'm hitting it. Actually, got to kind of support it like that and hit it. How am I going to do that? I don't even want to hold that. Yeah, let's give it a little bit more room in the vise. There it goes. That's where I drop it. I dropped it anyway. But I see it. Let's get that off. Gear looks okay. We should go get this whole assembly off. That should come off. A little dry there, huh? Leave the rest of it. Let's go clean some of those surfaces up. I'm gonna go clean that up. Maybe a little bit of Scotch-Brite. Yeah, Scotch-Brite. It's one thing about old stuff, especially back then. You could just go, actually, you need brushes. You would just be able to order brushes, change them out, put them in. Everything today is throwaway. A little drop of oil up there will do wonders. And the same on this side. Actually, the whole thing is all this needs to spin too. Let's go hit it with a little bit of a electronics cleaner. I'll put oil on it when we need it. Where we need it after we assemble it. All right, now we just have to worry about getting that into there. Let's get this back in the vise again so we have some support to try and do that. I think if we figure out some way to grab it by the wire that sticks out the top, I'll get in there. If we're able to grab that and pull back on each one of them from that wire that's up top, I don't know, maybe we can get a tie wrap around that. Actually, I wonder if you just get like a piece of tape. We just tape them to the sides, pull them back and take them off after we get the motor in it. Let's go find out. I actually ended up getting mechanics wire around them to hold them back. It seems like it's going to do the trick. We'll give it a little bit of grease for the bushing, bearing, bushing. All right, we're going in. Can't see. Let's give it a little bit of push that direction. And can I get in there with a pick? Ah, lost it. Try that again. Yeah, it's pretty, not much room. I think I got that one. Did I get them all? Ha! Here you go. Nice. Should we cut them off now? Let's go take a look at the other pieces that we have. Make sure that there's not going to be any interruptions. Trying to get them on there. We're going to have to, I don't know if there's any cleaning to do on that. I marked them with a Sharpie. Hopefully it stayed. I got a mark right there for just how it was indexed, top and bottom. Figure it's got to line up to those bolt holes. Those channels have to line up to those bolts. Some better lighting probably wouldn't hurt. Actually, it has a little key in it right there, so you can't really screw it up. That notch has a notch right there in the housing for it to slide into. Line her up. I'm afraid when I'm going to put it on there, the magnets are going to want to suck up into the air. So I was afraid of. See if we can get it so that's not on the rack so much. So tippy. I'm gonna hold down on the top of it to keep it from lifting up. Where's our notch? Notch, notch. Fighting the magnets. Come on, get on there. You're in. Nice. Let's go give a little bit of that. Now we want to get this on there. And how was that oriented? Again, I thought here's the Sharpie mark. Problem is the case is so dark. Probably should use something a little different than the color that it's made out of, right? Let's go see. Actually, it's got to line up with the screw hole, so. I'll spin that around till it lines up with the bolts, which I think are going to be like that. Right through. I think that's it. Get those two through, and then we can build on the drive part of it. Nope, I marked it. I am 180 out. It was like that. That's like I said where I marked it. Good. Clean the bolts up on the wire wheel so that they're not as cruddy going back in. Both those started. Don't want to lose it now, you know. I wonder if they make some like clips or something that hold those brushes back and then you remove it. I know some of them I've seen, like older ones, they have like a hole through the brush holder and you put a pin in it and the pin holds it as you're assembling it. I say we go for broke. I say we put all the stuff back together on top and have confidence that it's going to work. Or we have confidence that it's going to not work and we're not going to go back in again. Lube my shaft. So we got, this is first. You want to clean that up? I'm going to go clean some of this up. I'm going to hit that on the wire wheel, get some of the crap off the plastic. Yeah, looks a little better. Throw that on. We got to throw the gear on and the bevel teeth face that direction. Because when the starter, after it starts, so it kicks out, starter spins, it kicks the gear forward as it's spinning. It turns the flywheel. Then once the engine starts in the flywheel, it runs faster than the starter and it knocks it back down again. Sometimes there's a spring sitting up on these. A light spring. This one doesn't seem to have it. And we just gotta get our pin back in. I'll do the same. I'll lay it on the vise on the side and I'll work on. I'll lay it back down on the vise and I'll drive that back in again with a little bit of support so I'm not beating the Jesus out of it. You think? See if we can hook power to that. Make sure it does what it's supposed to do. Alright, so now or never. We just got to plug these two together. The switch is bypassed and just have some wires temporarily run around it. Make sure they're not hitting anything that they shouldn't be. Ah, see what we get. Come on, baby. I don't know if you saw, I got a whiff of smoke on the plug side of things. Yeah, it does not smell good. Let's go try it again. Live a little. Whew. Draws a lot of current though. Let's go see. Not blowing a fuse. It blew a fuse. Spoke too soon. I tried. I think it's got some little cross-contamination happening with the windings that are in there. Either that or this guy, whatever this is right here, is cooked and not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's, it's already junk, right? Let's see if that, yeah, it's pretty hot. Let's try bypassing that, and we have the 3 wires going in. Let's just put the power right to the 3 wires going in without that thing, and we'll see if it spins. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a rectifier. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm sure we could look up the part number probably. But what fun is that? I'd rather electrocute myself and make entertainment instead. All right, we're gonna go try plugging her together one more time. And directly to the motor. Let's see what it does. Does that answer your question? It smells like a train set I had when I was a kid. Okay, one last time with that box connected without the ground. Nervous? Oh, it just ain't gonna play well. And in a whiff of smoke, my progress went bye-bye. Well guys, I was just having a little bit of fun, seeing if I could save what was there. I thought we kind of had it when I saw that brush was stuck on the on its innards right there, but I have a feeling something else is contaminated and grounded itself out to the armature or vice versa. I'm just not quite sure. But at this point, I'm going to go call it. I'm not going to go chase all that. It's not like it's a rare piece that it's going to cost me $500 to go get a new one. And it starts with the pull start on the snowblower. So with that, I am going to leave it. And if I happen to see one somewhere, I'll grab it and throw it on. But that's it. What do you think that is? I wonder if that could even be what the failure is too, though, that whatever this is just not doing. Let's see if I can bring up a part number on it. What is that? Big resistor? What's got me is that the motor switches over and says AC. If it said DC on it, I'd say, okay, that's like a bridge rectifier changing AC to DC. But, you know, what it's calling out here, not that maybe they take that into account with what's in there as it's all one piece. But, again, that's just a guess on my half. You know what? It's junk anyway. Let's go take 12 volts, hook 12 volts to it, and see if it'll spin. Right? All right. All right, let's go for a Hail Mary, see what happens. I wouldn't think they would run 3 wires down there with it, you know, another ground, but who knows. Ready? I'm not afraid of 12 volts like I am 120. That's exactly what it is. So that's a rectifier that makes a DC out of AC. It's got no balls to it though. Or I'm totally wrong and you guys are going to let me know in the comments. Yeah, so I wonder if that's set up for like, I don't know what a rectifier would knock that down output voltage to. Yeah, but that wouldn't have enough balls to spin it. That's what I'm thinking, possibly if it, I wonder if it cranks that up to. You guys want to look that up? Yeah, it's just, again, I guess. There's more numbers. Don't know. Yeah, so I think it's a DC starter and they put AC to it. Is just a guess on my part. And again, who knows what that is. My guess is it's a rectifier. Comes in and it flips the wave over, so that sine wave AC is like this. And then I think it takes one of the waves and flips it over, so it's probably 60 volts DC, dirty, but 60 volts DC. It flips that wave over that's below 0, puts everything above the positive line. So 0, 60 volts, 60 volts. So we call it negative and positive sine wave going for AC, and then the rectifier takes the wave, flips that wave over, and then gives you 60 on one side and go in one direction. So it's just positive, and the 0 is the negative. I'm just guessing. I'm sure there's people who are much more inclined to what this stuff does than I do, but I just hope you guys had a little bit of fun hanging out with me, doing a little bit of wrenching, tearing it into a starter, see if you could save it, trying to educate ourselves a little bit, and I'll educate myself, I'm sure, from the comments. And yep, didn't even electrocute myself. Came close, but maybe next time we'll try harder. All right, it's actually about 2 weeks later since I was screwing with the starter and kind of felt that rectifier was no good. And finally, through the mail, I did grab another one for about 10 bucks. So hopefully that may fix our issue. I did a quick little wiring diagram. I'm going to go wire that up. We're going to go plug it in and see if that rectifies our rectifier situation. So let's go get some wires swapped over. And we got from the plug to the switch. Out of the switch is going to be black wire going to there. We're gonna have a new I'm wiring up the old one. All right, let's go with, you know, orientation correct. That's that. One's going to be white. Let's see if we can get that to go back in. Get a cord to go plug in there, and then we'll plug a cord into a cord. I think we're good. We still have to push the little button to get it to go when we do. So it shouldn't do anything when I plug it in. And hopefully no sparks come out. Let's see what we get. There we go. Cool. All right. So I think we have a possibly functioning starter. Let's go grab the snowblower, put that back in there, and see how she does under the load. All right, let's give her. I do have, or I will have, I'm gonna pull the key back so there's no spark. I just want to see how it does cranking it over. I don't want it to fire up right away. I know that sounds counterproductive, but see what we got. That should be just fine. Let's try and start it. Some choke, some throttle, a lot of choke. What do you say we go put it in some snow? Well, guys, I think we got her. I think everything's all set. Again, the only thing is the issue is the throttle was dropping down on me a little bit. I pull it full throttle and slowly it would vibrate down. So I just got to tighten up a little bit of tension on whatever that linkage is down in there and give it a little bit more drag. And I think we should be all set. Other than that, everything seems to work fine. It does everything it should. Hey, it's a tank. This thing is meant to last forever. And again, whatever, it's 40 years old, something like that. And it's doing fairly well, I would say. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to sign off and thank you all for hanging out with me, having a little bit of wrenching, learning a little bit of something. I learned some stuff, and possibly maybe you did too. So with that, I'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. Bye. All right, take it back. I did put a new plug on the end of the cord. I know you're going to write, make comments. Already done.